Good morning and welcome to the Hampton Division of Fire and Rescue State of the Division Address, episode number 2. I wanted to first off thank each of you for your overwhelming support I have felt over the last several weeks since becoming interim fire chief. I also want to thank you for the feedback that I received from the first video. I wasn't quite sure how that would go, what you would think, but overwhelmingly I felt a lot of support from each of you. The most frequent and notable, at least in my opinion, and important feedback that I received was there was a certain connection between this video and each of you. That's exactly what I was striving for, was that connection. It spurred conversation, the quelling of rumors, and requests for information. That's a good thing. So I hope I'm delivering on all fronts for you. So let's get down to business. Vacancies. Currently the division has 9 vacancies. We are making conditional offers as we speak through our recruitment office. Scott Doggett has made offers to 4 or 5 people now and will be continuing that process. So what's a conditional offer, you ask? Well, a conditional offer is part of your contract. And prior to us being able to get a polygraph as well as a 1582 physical, we request a conditional offer be signed by the potential applicant. Once that's done, we can send them to receive their physical and to receive their polygraph. So once all those come back clean, then we make final offers where they sign the second part of that contract, and then they are a new employee with the division. So what's next for these new applicants, soon to be new recruits? After the 1582 physical, they will start the Hampton Roads Recruit Fire Academy. And likely after the academy, we're looking at sending them straight to EMT Advanced or Advanced EMT to start that process off. What are we going to do with an academy? Well, we're also looking towards doing our own academy rather than sending our recruits to another academy. That would be held here in the city of Hampton, and we would have others possibly from James City County or York County come join us with that. Should be a recruit class of less than 20, which makes it extremely manageable and a lot more attention spent with the recruits. So as most of you are already aware, the city announced their voluntary retirement program. Within the division, we had 17 members that were eligible for that program. We won't know until December 27th how many of those individuals choose to take this option. So that poses a few issues for us. That equates to a lot of experience and a lot of talent. So we need to have a little bit of succession planning here with the unknown in place. With that said, how do we prepare? Well, I'm looking to already request overhires, which means requesting hires above those number of vacancies that we currently have. That puts us a little bit ahead of the curve. But through attrition, we find out that sometimes that only puts us a little less behind the curve. So we're working towards that. Update on EMTI. We're still waiting for the state to give us a little bit more information on when that program will sunset. We're not exactly clear. However, I've talked about preparation. We have amended our current contract for new applicants to address any future changes that the Commonwealth may impose upon us with EMTI. So we're covered there. 2018 leave picks. Those will be starting December 3rd, Sunday, in Battalion 1's office. Captain Joe Brown will be managing that program. You will see documents come out fairly soon that will explain to you how many days of holiday leave, admin leave, personal days that you'll get to choose. So you need to be prepared for that. We're also working on the number of weeks that you will receive based on the amount of leave that you earn each year, based on your tenure. So be prepared for that in advance, even before the documents come out. Sunday, December 3rd, be looking out for that. Little update on the Senior Master Medic Firefighter Application Program. We have received a ton of applications, both new applications and reapplications, so I appreciate that. Assistant Chief Tracy Hanger is now going through those applications, making sure that all the points are met and that you've met the requirements for either revalidation or for a new application. If there are issues, she'll send them back or communicate with you so we can fix those issues. And remember, December 1st is the deadline for all those current senior and master medic firefighters to send in their revalidation paperwork. December 1st. I sent out a 156-hour cycle memo a couple of weeks ago, and I just want to reiterate the fact that this is nothing new. This is nothing that HR put out. This is what we've always done, However, I have found that there have been some officers and medics that didn't quite understand how our cycle works. So that was the purpose of sending out the memo, to really explain in an example cycle how overtime is configured. So the key to that is just to remember 156 hours is what we are required to work in a 21-day, 156-hour cycle. That was it. That was the purpose of that memo. Regional and federal team deployments and reimbursements. So we've been fortunate enough to have some of our members be deployed with some of these regional teams. However, there's a sticking point with that when it comes to reimbursement and coverage, staffing, backfill, various things. It involves their policy, EMAC request, MOUs, our policy, and some of those don't always jive. I'm working towards making that a little bit more streamlined. So I apologize to any of our members right now who have already been deployed and are back and are awaiting some sort of answer for any overtime that may be due. We are working through that the best that we can, and we'll do our best to take care of you with that. On the operations front, automatic mutual aid. We are no longer relocating Station 9, which is right here where I am, to Station 7, or Newport News Station 7 to Hampton Station 9 when we're backfilling. We're just too close, and it doesn't make sense for us to go ahead and move trucks. So that's one of the changes that we have. If Newport News Fire Department Station number 2 needs a backfill, our plan, if available, is to send Squad 1 because that's one of our 2 truck companies. I do appreciate all those members that have come to me or Chief Barleski with some concerns during this change to the automatic mutual aid with Newport News. When you bring those concerns to us, it gives us a chance to address those immediately with either Newport News or our members here, and we're fixing things as we go. So thanks for bringing those to our attention. On the logistics front, some have asked about apparatus replacement, medics, units. So I have a meeting on November 28th next week with Rick Russ of Fleet, and we're going to discuss the timeline for what is due up for replacement. Right now, just on the surface, I'm looking at engine 101 and engine 902 are the 2 that are coming up, but I'll have more information on that soon. But we're coming up on the cycle now for our trucks and for our medic units. On the EMS front, Chief Tucker has worked to purchased 20 new LifePak 15s. Of course, last year we applied for Assistance to Firefighters grant for new LifePaks. We did not get that grant, but through succession planning from a couple years ago, we had already put that in the capital improvement plan. So if we did not get the grant, we would have the funding set aside to make sure that we continue our technology in the field. So we are going through the process of getting the 20 LifePak 15s. A couple changes on those. They will have the 15 lead capabilities, just like Medic 1 and Medic 10 have. We're replacing the Masimo technology with Nellcore technology. And we're going to get rid of the CO monitoring on the unit in lieu of going to RAD 57 handheld. That'll reduce cost and allow us to get more bang for our buck. Health and safety, something that's near and dear to my heart. You have to remember the importance of your health. According to NIOSH, a 2016 report, compared to the general population around us, we have a 9% increase in cancer diagnoses and a 14% increase in cancer-related deaths. So what do we do to help reduce that number? Wear your SCBA when you're supposed to wear it. Wear your respiratory protection when you're supposed to wear it. Wash and wipe your face after a structure fire. Extremely important. Chief Barnett has already taken the steps to make sure you've got sunscreen, make sure that each unit has got wipes. Clean your gear, shower. It's important that you do that and get the residual contaminants off of your body. Cancer is serious and it touches a lot of us. The leading cause of death still for us, line of duty death causes, is cardiac events. Pay attention to your physical fitness. Pay attention to your health and wellness. Eat right and work out with your crew. Very important. You want to be able to spend time, long time with your kids and your grandkids when you're long gone here from the fire division. Behavioral health is important too. Pay attention to the signs. We are all vulnerable to the signs. For more info on behavioral health, the City of Hampton has the Employee Assistance Program, or EAP. You can visit hampton.gov, go to the bottom and click on Employee Connection, and find EAP under the resource list. It's your benefit for your benefit. use it. So I've got some information from other departments, things that they wanted to share. From risk management, they have noticed an increase in some members from our division as well as other departments not following some of the OSHA regulations when it comes to fueling your vehicle or apparatus at the pumps. Make sure you cut your vehicle off. I have to admit, I have been an offender of that in the past. Once your fueling begins, that operator needs to stay with the pump. There have been too many instances of the pump not shutting off or spillage occurring, which leads to a spill and a possible additional hazard. They've also noticed some, when an emergency call comes in, yanking the nozzle out before releasing the autofill, which discharges fuel into the ground. Or an unattended pump has led to overflowing on a few rare occasions. So be cognizant of that, please. So I have a few shout outs as well. I failed to mention that Battalion Chief Craig Topping was also one of our deployed members. He was deployed with Virginia DMAT 1 to Texas for Hurricane Harvey. Thanks, Chief. Medic firefighters. We have two brand new medic firefighters, Medic Firefighter Ryan Austin and Medic Firefighter Jan Noble. Congratulations. Basic Law Enforcement School, our fire prevention branch, Lieutenant Mike Zolikavich and Medic Firefighter Chris Persons, as of this past Friday, have graduated. They are now official and learning new roles in their capacity. Congratulations. The VFW Post 5500 will be recognizing two of our members, as they typically do once a year, December 1st at 1600 hours. Lieutenant Josh Hicks for Officer of the Year, and Medic Firefighter Brian Kovac for Medic of the Year. These members were awarded those designations during our last June award ceremony. Congratulations to each of you. Hazmat. Hazmat team does a fantastic job. The leadership does a great job. The team members do a great job. I had the benefit of watching them in action earlier this week at Victoria and LaSalle. They were dealing with the lingering effects of the tanker truck spill from last week. Those things pop up. But Chief Lazar, Lieutenant Revis, Medic Firefighter Fahrenholt, Medic Firefighter Haynes, and Firefighter Adisi were there to mitigating the issue. But what was cool about the call was the fact that there were so many agencies on scene working together. We had stormwater, wastewater, risk management, and DEQ were on scene. So I got to spend about an hour out there with them and watch what they do, and it's just impressive how well they work with other agencies. So shout out to you guys and to the Hazmat team for what you do. And I mentioned giving back to you during the holidays and not doing the turkey trot this year. Well, we've picked some dates. So December 11th, 12th, and 13th, we'll be cooking out for you at Thomas Street. So be prepared for more information on that. And there's a couple things that I missed last episode. Mentioned BC Topping with his deployment, but I heard from Station 3. I mentioned that in the CIP, Capital Improvement Plan, that we were looking to replace Stations 1, 2, and 6. Station 3 says, well, what about us? Didn't forget about you, Station 3. Station 3 is already in the works. The only sticking point right now happens to be the fact that land is hard to come by in the city of Hampton. So that's being worked out with the city, but I promise you, Station 3, you're first on the bill. Little exit interview tidbit. It's fortunate and unfortunate that I have to sit for exit interviews. It's fortunate because I get a lot of positive feedback and I get feedback about those things that we can fix. But it's unfortunate as well because we're losing a member, which is why we're having an exit interview. But I will tell you, when I ask a member what they enjoyed most about working for the division, the number one answer for everyone that I've done an exit interview for has been the people. I agree. So, from me to you, from the staff to you, happy Thanksgiving, enjoy time with your family, and thanks for all you do. Be safe.